As you probably saw on my previous video, and I'm going to show you now, I got this box of films and tapes and various other things, slides, to be able to archive. Trouble is, I haven't got the ability to do it. Well, I hadn't, so I thought I'd take you on the journey with me. So this is what I've discovered so far. Well, I went on to Amazon and I found a scanner. This one, the KLIM K2 scanner. Now, I didn't know much about these sort of things except for the fact that this one uses your mobile phone. There are other ones available which are much more expensive because they've got their own cameras effectively in them, but I didn't want anything that was so bulky, and I didn't want anything that was not necessarily going to be very good. I mean, how good a camera can you get for 48, £50? This was £24 something, so not cheap, but it came in a nice box, a very nice box actually. And you can see this is the actual device itself. There's a vinyl side on it, and there is a silica grippy side. Now it comes with the batteries, which are a couple of AAs, which are in here. I can only say that this box was really tough. I mean, it was a well-made box, and you can see here they've got a couple of, I don't know, there's a no-name brand, but it says super alkalis on them, so presumably they're all right. I mean, what the hell? You know, it's a battery. So battery life, I don't know what it's going to be like, but we'll give it a go. And so, also in this box, you've got this thing. Now, in here you've got nothing else in there, but you've got down here you've got a cleaning cloth, and this is a magnet. Now, the idea of this is if you've got a really big phone, you can glue that to your phone, and then it will stick to the pad properly. Now in there are some stickers, which are and a joke. So you know, it's up to you if you want to bother reading that. And here you've got a book with the general instructions. Now, as I say, in here you've got these stickers, which is I don't see the point of them personally. They are quite good quality, and you might want to stick them on something. And then there's a booklet, but this thing actually is quite a comprehensive instruction book. It's in several languages. It's got QR codes to a couple of bits of software, which I'll discuss a little bit later. It's worth staying tuned for the software, because when it comes down to it, that's what you're going to be using. This is a device, the software is what you're going to be using to actually do it with. Now, looking at here a bit closer up, now we can see KLIM K2. That is a silicon grippy bit, which is quite useful, and that is a vinyl there, and then the lid just pulls off. This is where it looks sort of strange. So on here, this is where the batteries go, and it's just a standard thing there. Pull it up and pop the batteries in there, which we'll do now. So there's nothing special about it, it's just a normal battery holder, pop it in there. This is the really technical bit, putting batteries in the right way around, but you know, it proves that it can be done with one hand whilst holding the camera, if nothing else. So there we go. Right, so pop that in there, put it the right way around, Gary, it would help. So you pop that in there, and then pop the lid back on, just to keep it neat. And there's the switch, and as you can see, it illuminates that panel. Now that panel is quite important, because obviously that's where you're going to put your negatives and your positives, and you want it to be nice and clean, and you want it to be an even thing. Now this is how the actual top bit works. So you got your two side pieces, and in the middle there, underneath the little description, you've got that other flap. Now that flap is used to keep the other two up, because otherwise it's going to just be wibbly wobbly. But by putting that up and then pulling the two sides up, you can now see you've got a firm construction, which will now clip onto the base. So you've got the top bit is going left to right, sorry, up and down, and the bottom bit is going left to right. So you end up with the ability to see the white panel when you're looking from the top, which is where the camera is going to be. So they just slot in there. You have to make sure they're a little bit tricky. They have to be in just the right place, then they will go in smoothly. So that was the situation. I found it worked quite well, but it was a little bit fiddly initially getting that to go in. And there you go, much better. So that's how that works. They're all nicely smooth in there. And then what you've got to do is you've got to get your mobile phone, and you're going to have to put it on the top there. You can see exactly what's going to happen. As you look down, you can see that you've got the white panel there. So your mobile phone, you just make sure the camera's there, and you just overhang it like that. Bada bum, bada bing, as they say. So that would be the way it works. And it does say put it on a firm base, and then switch it on and go into your software, which is what we're going to do now. What follows are 3 pictures, one of my mum, and one of my dad, and one of a vicar. Now those were all taken off slides, which are all at least 40 years old. And this one was a slide, but this one was a negative which has been processed, and this one was a negative that's been processed, and this one was a negative that's been processed. These are about 25 years old, but as you can see, they've come out quite well. And this is what my photo roll looked like when I'd finished doing it. Lots and lots of pictures, and all various orientations. So that's what effects and results you can get just using a standard camera off your phone on that piece of equipment, which works nice and stable. It's stable. It produces the results you want. It took me 15 minutes to do 76 pictures. Now, what you've got to decide is, some of those pictures I've actually got paper copies of. Is it worth sticking them in a scanner, a proper scanner, A4 scanner, lining them all up, scanning them? You will get the proper colours straight out, but you've got to do all the cropping and stuff. So it's worth remembering that the negative is what that was originally from. So if you scan the negative, which only takes a few seconds because you just run the strip through, it's probably better than doing the paper copy. And also, the paper ones have faded, so they're not as good as they might be, and the negative is as good as anything anyway. Anyway, that's that bit. So I'm now going to look at the software involved in doing this, which they suggest you can use when you buy this device, and it's quite well, I thought I'd give it a go, but you've got to sign up for it. Anyway, this is the results. So this is what I'm going to show you now, is the results of the scanning. Now, this one was done with Photomyne. This is from the negatives, and I think you'll agree it's quite nice. There we go. But what I will show you is that this one's been taken from the negative as well by the Kodak software, and that's the same size picture. That is to say, it's on the same zoom ratio. So the picture from the Kodak is very much larger than the picture from the other one. And if we go to the pictures from, whoops, ignore that bit. If we go from the pictures from the actual camera itself, which is also on here, just got to find it. Marked image. Oh, these are images, and they are huge. That's a negative image been reversed, taken from the camera. Now, the only problem with that's the camera one, done by the camera itself and reversed. So actually, that's on about the same. Let's put it down to, that's on about the same as the other one was. So there's your 30 on there. Then we move along here. You've got various other ones here. So those are taken from the camera, and that's taken from the Kodak photo editor. So that's the Kodak photo editor, which, as you can see, gives a good result, but you've got to get the colour set right when you do it. Now, these are the various images that I managed to pull off, and you can see they are all reasonable, but some are better than others. And that one's taken with the software that does the enhancement, which is very good actually with the enhancements, but their pictures are smaller. That's taken with the enhancement software. That's taken with enhancement software. And that's taken with the enhancement software. That's taken with the enhancement software. This one's taken with the photo editor, so that's the Kodak software, and that one's the Kodak software. Now, as you can see, the white balance was off on there, but if you've got software like I'm using here, it's not that big a different problem to actually do the white balance. You just click on white balance and hey presto, it's sorted. And if you really want to get flash with it, you just pick something that's white, which I know happens to be that, and there you go. Nice and simple. So that's how simple it is to do. If you go for if you use your camera itself, you've got the problem that you've got to do a multiple stepping, because all the camera pictures originated as, let me see if I can find one for you. There's a camera picture. And if I step back, you can see it started off as an image like that. So should be able to get a reasonable result from it. Rotate it and then invert it and then enhance it. Go for the suggested settings, click on OK, and you've got that. But then if you want to, you can always just sort of pull it down a bit. Obviously you can do whatever you like as far as that's concerned, really. Right, it's a colour control. But the other software does do it automatically for you. This I'm actually having to alter manually, so you can bring it up and down as much as you like, and you can turn the contrast down or up. You can see it's a variable thing, but it's nice when it's done automatically for you. So I think that's quite reasonable. Okay. Or you can use the Photo Enhance software, one-step software, which does that. Let's go back to there. So if we go to there, that's the raw image. So we do the negative image, boom, like that. Then we do one-step enhance. It doesn't manage it because it doesn't really understand. There's too much whiteness in there. It's trying to change all sorts of things. It's getting the colour balance about right. Would it get it eventually right? No, it doesn't understand what I want it to do. So let's take that back. Just see how. Right, okay, so do that bit, then do the smart one, and obviously there's various ones on here that you can use. Again, you might not find what you want, but what you can do with this software is you can overhaul it, then you can set your other bits, so you can make sure you get the picture you want, which is quite good. And that is a huge picture. Looking at the picture information, this is something I wanted to show you. So this is with a normal camera. It doesn't matter what I've done to it. Image information. It's a 4000 by 4000. So according to this, it's 55 by 31. 55 by 31 inches at 72 dpi. So that's a big picture. We go on to one of the pictures on here. This is the photo editor. This is a Kodak one, and this image is 55 by 41. That's again, and then if we come down to here, oh, am I going the right direction? Here's a photo one. Yeah. Right, here's the photo one of that. We just checked the image. The image information on that says that it's 21 by 24 inches, so it's very much smaller. It is a nice picture, but it's very much smaller. This is another one of it. So this one is the original one we were looking at, and image is 31 by 21. And if we go in this direction to the Kodak one, which I could set the colour up a bit better than that. Anyway, there's a Kodak one, image information. It's 55 by 41. So it's very much bigger image. Anyway, that's it. So that's the important bits on there. And we'll go with that. Let's bring it back to me. Anyway, so that's all the numbers and everything. As you can see, it's quite important the way this works. It does confuse when you're looking at the screen and you've only got the size of the images in front of you. You don't actually know exactly what resolution you're looking at. So what I'm saying is here that the camera resolution was pretty high, that the Kodak resolution was pretty high, but the two scanning softwares weren't that marvellous in terms of resolution. But they did produce a very nice picture, but it's smaller, and you know, it depends what you want. And you've got to remember that the two scanning softwares, they actually cost, one's £28 a year or thereabouts, and the other one's 30. Oh, I don't know, it was a lot of money. Anyway, I signed up because I wanted to try it out, but and would I recommend it? Well, if you've got a lot to do and you want to do it properly, then maybe, but you're going to end up with a smaller picture. I don't know, you've got to pay your money and take chances. The Kodak stuff I think is very good. It gives you the ability to do it better than the camera, in terms of it's a little bit easier to set up, but you can see, because it does the negatives in the positive for you, you don't have, it takes out one of those steps, and you can then, if you set it up properly in the first place, you're going to get good results. You've got to remember that with all of this, it comes down to 3 or 4 things. It's the quality of the original picture, the quality of the original negative or positive, as in how good or grainy it is, and then you've got the actual ability of the camera to pick it up. And any one of those things can give you a problem. I think overall that this system works, but you know, like I say, you pay your money, you take your chances, and I hope that you've got something out of this. I think I will be carrying on with the Kodak software, because that's the one that works for me. But if you want to have a go with the scanner software, I'll put links in for you. There's nothing in it for me, so the links will be in the description, and that's it. Anyway, if you've got anything out of this video, maybe you'd like to subscribe and click on a like or something, and I'll catch you another time. Cheers.